Hello YouTube people, in today's video I'm going to show you how this very pretty watch from Baltany looks like on these custom straps. This video is sponsored by Baltany. Baltany has sent me this watch for the video and I get to keep it. Thank you Baltany. And I would like to announce that Baltany has opened up a shop on Amazon. So right now there are 3 places where you can buy Baltany watches. You can buy from AliExpress, you can buy from Amazon, and you can buy directly from their official website. I will put all the links in the video description. Technical specifications and measurements which I have done myself as always. The weight of this watch of the bracelet is 51 grams. Diameter of the case 36 millimeters. Lug to lug distance 43.3 millimeters. Thickness without magnifying glass is 11.5 millimeters. Lug width is 20. This watch has sapphire crystal and this magnifying glass is also sapphire. This watch has 100 meters of water resistance rating together with a screw down crown and screw down case back. Inside it has NH35A movement and it comes on this bracelet which has solid links, solid end links. Links are connected with screws. It has solid metal clasp and it tapers down to 16 millimeters. Lume on this watch is just a decoration, but I still want to show you because, well, it does have a little bit of lume and that's how it looks like. The size of my wrist is 16.5 centimeters or 6.5 inches and that's how this watch looks like on my wrist. It's a perfect size for my small wrist. Now, in order to resize this bracelet for myself, I had to remove 4 links, and as you can see, links are connected with screws, and that's how a screw looks like. And don't worry, a very nice screwdriver is included in the packaging, so you can resize it yourself. Now let's see how many links there is still left on the bracelet. So on this side, that's it, no more links can be removed. On this side, 2 links can be removed and I'm currently set on one before the last hole on the clasp. And how does it look like? It looks nice. It looks really nice. The fitment inside lugs is basically flawless, very precise, no gaps, no movement, no free play, very good. I really like this connection between the end link and the first link. I like that there is no excessive gap. The fluidity, the continuation, you know, of the design is very nice, looking very good. I like the brushing on this bracelet. It's a little bit rougher than usual, but I think it fits the character of a vintage style watch very nicely. Sides of a bracelet are mirror polished, absolutely like a mirror. You can see the name of my camera in the reflection. It's like a mirror, yeah. And the clasp also has the same brushing as the bracelet itself. Nice Baltany engraving, chamfered edges. And how does it feel like and how does it look like on the wrist? By the way, yeah, let's put it back on my wrist. So as you can see, no excessive gaps on the bracelet. That's really nice. I really like that. Except this little gap, I kind of wish the clasp was sitting a little bit closer to the bracelet itself somehow. It's not like too crazy, but I kind of wish it was a little bit more like that, you know. And another thing, how is the sharpness on the bracelet? Well, let me give you a little bit better look again. Maybe let's zoom in. So take a look at the edges, especially bottom edges on the bracelet. They are very, you know, very precisely made. The definition of this edge is very high precision, I would say, you know. The bottom edge of a bracelet is like there is zero roundness, you know. It's like the edge is made very precisely, you know. The clasp, this, and well, I kind of wish this end would have some kind of finishing because it doesn't. It's like it's just a cut metal right there, so kind of wish it would have a little bit of finishing right there, you know. The inside portion, let me show you the interesting part, this part. Now, this bit of the inner clasp has a very well defined edge, okay, very well defined edge, and this part is very nicely polished out. This part is actually very nice to touch. Yep, that's how it is. Now, how is the finishing on the case? And well, I would say there are no surprises because, well, as always from Baltany, especially, you know, shiny surfaces are finished like a mirror. Like right now you can literally see the reflection of my camera. And sorry for tiny scratches, I already worn this watch throughout the weekend, so sorry about that. I'm a little bit clumsy, so I got some tiny scratches. Now, the top surface of the case is also has a little bit rougher brushing, which I think fits the style of vintage aesthetics very nicely, and transition between the side and the top brushing is so precise, so nice. And I really like how slim is the bezel on this watch. The overall thickness of this watch is 11.5 millimeters, and the crystal is sticking out just a little bit, just tiny bit. It looks really tastefully done. I really like that. This style of a case is actually my favorite. I really like when the side of the case is rounded off and polished like that. This is the perfect example of how I like it. I think it's very beautiful. Now, this side has this beautiful Baltany crown. I really like this Baltany logo. It gives off a luxurious vibe somehow, this B. It's just B, but it's very nice B. It looks really good. It gives off somewhat luxurious vibe, I would say. And the crown itself is simply wonderful. It's tiny bit slightly oversized. It's very grippy, and I really like that. It really fits this watch very nicely. Now, how are those lug tips? They are also very precisely made. The very corners of the case are as precise as it gets, you know. They're very, very beautiful, you know. Very, you know, the tip goes into like microscopical sizes probably, because it also feels like the tip of a, you know, precision knife. Now let's do a little bit of a quality check as usual, you know, even though this is a sponsored video, but it's still a review after all, so I have to do what I have to do, you know. So the crown on this watch is wonderful. As I already told you, it's a big crown. It's not sharp, yet it's very grippy, and I really like the size of it. Some people might say it's a little bit oversized, but that's exactly what I like. I like crowns like that, especially on vintage style watches like this one. So it's a screw down crown, it has this threading, it catches threading, no problem. It's very easy to use crown. It's as good as it gets, basically, as good as it gets. Now let's check the alignment of hands. First of all, let me move the second hand a little bit out of the way, and let's check the alignment on exactly 6. Are these hands sitting straight? So if I sit on exactly 6, well, our hand is tiny bit advanced, I would say, tiny bit advanced. Now let's see how far from the midnight is going to flip the date. Okay, so 11:30, 11:45, and right now let's 12 minutes away from midnight, roughly. Hold on a second, let's give it a second chance, shall we? Let's give it a little bit of a second. And while we are at this, let's check the alignment of hands once again, or also a second chance. Let's set on exactly 6. Yeah, our hand is tiny bit advanced, just tiny bit advanced. And when it is going to flip the date, 11:30, 11:45, and let's go slowly. Roughly 12-11 minutes away from the midnight. Well, it's not terrible, but it's not great either. The watch is fully wound. Let's check the accuracy. Plus 13 seconds. Now let's flip it over and let's try again. plus 15 seconds, and right now let's try in a crown facing down position. Plus 3 seconds, so there is a little bit of deviation and it's a little bit fast, but as from NH35, nothing unexpected. Let's take a better look at the dial on this watch, which is silvery, you know, and it has this sunburst effect, which is you know, the brushing that radiates away from the center, and I think it's very nicely done. Everything looks very tasteful, nothing is sticking out, everything is very beautiful, and I really love this monochromatic look. This watch looks rather simple, and I believe some people would even call this watch a little bit boring. But that's actually what I like about this watch. It's simple, it's understated, and that's why it also gives off this kind of a old money vibe, you know, old money kind of style, which is understated yet looks very luxurious. I really like that. I think it's very tasteful, it's very nice, and especially love those slim hands and slim indices. It's just pretty, you know, it's just straightforward pretty. And this magnifying glass works just flawlessly. The magnification is just perfect. It doesn't magnify too much, and you don't see corners, you know. The number fully fills the screen of magnifying glass, yet it doesn't distort anything. It looks really good, actually looks really good. And I love that the numbers on the date window are slightly bold, you know. Let me show you a couple of them, you know, just because, you know, just if you want to see the font on different numbers and all that. So that's how it looks like. I especially love the number 10. Hold on a second, let's get to the number 10, because the 0 on number 10 is slightly smaller than the 1. It looks interesting, but this is the only number that has that. I kind of, it's interesting, quirky thing. I like that. Every other number, it's like, by the way, let's look at 20. How is 20? 20, look, 0, 20 is like ellipse shape, okay? But 0 on 10, hold on a second, let's get to 10. It's a little bit different. I kind of like that. It looks interesting. I don't know, something a little, it does look a little bit strange, I must say, but that's what I like about it. Now another thing which I would like to show you is actually, you know, as for an H35 movement, I would say that the dial is not sitting too deep. It's not too crazy. I see very hot, but it's not too deep. It doesn't poke my eyes. And once I actually see the hot, once I notice that, it's like, oh boy, this thing is actually next level. Look at the inside of the Rehot, you know, the inside wall of the watch has this Baltany engraving on the sidewall, like a very fancy, very well-known watch, you know what I'm talking about. But it's nice that there is something done on the Rehot. For me, it either has to have some kind of chaptering, or it must be polished out, or it has to have some kind of engraving. I really hate when the Rehot is left to be just a raw metal. This is nice. This is nice. Having this engraving, it looks rather special. You know, right now this Rehot looks purposeful. You know, that's awesome. So overall, looking straight down on this watch, it's just very classy, very fancy, but very understated. I really like that. Okay, enough being serious, let's start having fun. I have chosen some straps for this watch that I believe this watch is gonna look beautiful. And if you're interested in these straps, you can find them on my website, thomaswatchreviews.com. This is a wall-wave leather strap that costs just €3 and is super flexible and comfortable. And I like that it has this vintage aesthetics, also has a little bit of that, you know, old money kind of vibe. And that's why I think that's why it fits this watch stylistically wise very well. It's a perfect match for this watch in my opinion, and I really love how this watch looks off the bracelet. I love how strap frames this watch. You don't see the continuation of metal, instead you see the strap, and the watch comes more to life, you know, it becomes more lively. I really like that. And on this strap, this watch is actually a lot more comfortable than on a bracelet. And another vintage old money kind of style leather strap is this suede one with the stitching, beige stitching. And what I really like is that the beige color on the stitching is basically the same as on the Lume on the watch. So it's stylistically and visually it's basically also yet another perfect match for this watch. I think it looks great, and it's also a very comfortable combination for this little watch. Yeah, I think it looks really good. And this is yet another leather strap, which looks like it came back from another era, from the past, you know. This is this coloration leather strap, which has this beautiful aging effect. And that's why I think it looks great on this vintage styled watch. It's also yet another perfect match. That's what I really like about this vintage styled little watch, is that I have plenty of vintage aesthetics straps, because, well, that's probably, well, not probably, that's my favorite kind of style actually. And this strap livens up this watch quite a bit. You know the strap very well, you know, it's a bright brown leather strap, and the color of the stitching is basically the same as the color of the Lume on the watch, so I would say it matches this watch also very nicely, and I like how much it tapers down. It's very, you know, sporty but yet graceful looking strap. I think it fits this watch really well. It really livens up this watch. If you want that, it looks just great. It looks just great. And if you don't want to liven up this watch and want to keep the simple monochromatic look, you can put this watch on this suede leather strap, and it keeps its monochromatic look, which looks just sweet. It looks, you know what, it gives off a somewhat sophisticated vibe right now, I would say. I would imagine seeing something like this on some kind of a very smart, sophisticated person, you know. that kind of vibe this combination gives, for me at least. I think it looks really good, really nice. For the ending of this video, let's keep this watch back on this wool-weave leather strap, which has these bright brown keepers, and I think it matches this watch so nicely. I like it a lot. I think this watch looks beautiful on its original bracelet, but strap like this it's 100 times more comfortable than any bracelet ever made, basically. So for me, it's like no-brainer. I put this watch on a strap like this, and that's it. I'm good to go. No need to worries. And well, what are my final thoughts about this watch? Well, what can I tell you? You know what I like, you know my style, you know the vintage style aesthetics, either military or fancy shiny, something like this. This is my sweet spot. The size and the looks, especially this monochromatic look, it's just something that I love seeing on my wrist. You know, I like all kinds of different watches, colorful ones and big ones and whatever. I like watches in general, but at the end of the day, this is something that I prefer to see on my wrist the best. Either military style or shiny, fancy, vintage style like this. This is just awesome. So for me personally, this watch appeals very much. And one thing that really puts this watch apart from the rest, from every other watch you basically see, is just a simple engraving on the rehaut on the inside. You know, every other watch you see normally is just a piece of raw metal inside the watch, and that really bothers me. But when I see this Baltany engraving on the inside, it's like, oh boy, this thing is really special. So yeah, this is one of the most beautiful things I ever had. I really love the looks of it. It's not perfect, but as far as beauty goes, this is hands down one of the best looking things. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.